We say no to a culture of impunity, corruption, continuous violence, tribalism, poor services, delivery.
Anglican bishops and their Pentecostal counterparts uniting defending their colleagues from the Catholic Church in blasting the government for its failures, especially in the health and education sectors. Government announces the commencement of an ambitious national job recruitment program aimed at securing overseas employment for both skilled and non-skilled Kenyans.
Mambo ambayo wananchi wanasema kabisa ni mazuri tuweze kuyapitisha, na yale ambao wanaona yatakuwa changamoto ama yatakuwa tatizo kwao tuweze kuwaondoa katika ripoti yetu.
Finance Committee of the National Assembly begins public hearings on the proposed tax laws seeking to raise 178 billion shillings, with the exercise kicking off today in Isiolo and Bungoma counties.
Nikikama hapo mtu alikuwa hakuwa poa. Sasa inaona hata skin yake iko poa.
Kilo ya huko ilikuwa chini, ilikuwa 950.
And on Health Beat tonight, we shed the light on preterm births, which remain the leading cause of deaths among children, with mothers embracing kangaroo care to help babies achieve their required milestones. Well, K24 Evening Edition begins right now. I'm Alan Owino. Our sign language interpreter for this session is Evelyn Wangoi. The Anglican bishops and their Pentecostal counterparts have united in defending their colleagues from the Catholic Church over issues raised last week by the clerics that are affecting the nation. The leaders claim the government has failed to address thorny issues in the education and health sectors, creating a huge disconnect between itself and the common Mwananchi. Meanwhile, the SEK Church has distanced itself from claims that it had separated itself from the issues raised by the Catholic bishops. We'll be giving you this update in a short while. Let's continue with other news making headlines. Governors are now decrying delayed disbursement of funds, crippling the implementation of the Social Health Fund amid an accrued NHIF debt of 9.1 billion. The counties further want KEMSA's debt settled fast to ensure medicines are available in health facilities across the country.
Counties now want the government to expedite payment of NHIF debt totaling to 9.1 billion shillings, or to hospitals to facilitate full implementation of the Social Health Insurance Fund, which has been plagued by confusion since its rollout.
Takriban milioni 14 ambao wako katika ule mpango mpya. Kasema 8,000 ni wale ambao bado wale ambao wamejisajili, lakini 6,000 ni wale ambao walitolewa kwa mpango wa zamani wa NHIF. Hili lingewezekana kwa urahisi kama county zingekuwa na fedha, kwa sababu bado tuna wale ambao wanaoitwa CHPs ambao wanahusika hasa katika kusaidia wananchi kujisajili. Basi tungetaka kuomba NHIF ikaweza kufanya haraka, SHA sasa ikaweza kulipa madeni haraka inavyowezekana.
The primary healthcare forming the basis of the Social Health Authority and the Universal Health Coverage, the Council of Governors now want KEMSA's debt of 3.8 billion shillings settled to restock medicines in health facilities.
What is owed to KEMSA by counties put together? It is a meager 3.8 billion. NHIF should pay KEMSA so that we can continue collecting drugs and pay us the balance. It will be easier for us. But all the time it is blamed on counties. We have not paid KEMSA. We are not having drugs in the facilities. While in actual sense it is the effort of all those other agencies to frustrate counties that has contributed to this.
Further, the county bosses have questioned the low registration number of medical facilities under the Social Health Authority, limiting Kenyans' access to health facilities under the new health scheme.
All the public facilities and the private facilities that are registered and licensed were a total of 48,000. But to date, the number of facilities that are operationalized by SHA is only 7,800, which is hardly 10%. So what about the other facilities that are ready for SHA and SHA has not rolled out? When patients go to those facilities, definitely they will not be able to access that because it is not available.
At the same time, Kalin and FIDA Kenya want the authority to develop a reimbursement system for patients who have been using out-of-pocket expenses to foot bills since the SHA rollout.
The Social Health Authority should operationalize feedback mechanisms and reimbursement systems for patients forced to make out-of-pocket payments since October. The transition to social health insurance fund must align with the principles of universal health coverage, reducing financial barriers, ensuring adequate resources, and protecting the rights of the most vulnerable. The current transition falls short of this dignity for the people they are meant to serve, and we therefore urge the Ministry of Health to take swift action in addressing these critical concerns.
Last week, SHA CEO Elijah Wachira was suspended and sent on a 90-day compulsory leave to allow for investigations into his professional conduct and performance. Bentura Komoka for K24 TV, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, Labour and Social Protection Cabinet Secretary Dr. Alfred Mutua has announced the commencement of the government's ambitious national job recruitment program aimed at securing overseas employment for both skilled and non-skilled Kenyans. The program, which officially begins on Wednesday at the Machakos Technical Institute, is expected to cover at least 20 counties in the first phase. Speaking during a meeting with local recruitment agents partnering with the government to offer job opportunities, Labour Cabinet Secretary Dr. Alfred Mutua revealed that the first phase of the program, expected to end sometime in December, will be offering 20,000 jobs across different jurisdictions such as Poland, Kuwait and Jordan.
The meeting with the recruiters, and we analyzed the jobs that we have demands for. When I say demands, means these are jobs that are available in the world that have been given to Kenyan government and Kenyan recruiters to give to Kenyans, or to employ for Kenyans to be employed in those positions.
Mutua emphasized the importance of proper preparation ahead of the recruitment exercise, urging those planning to attend the interview to arm themselves with appropriate documentation.
Go to the internet, to eCitizen, register your documents, register yourself, pay their 1,000 by M-Pesa, so that when you come, upata kazi ukienda, the DCI officer can pull your records from the computer, unafanya biometrics, unasonga mbele, so that you lessen work, so that you get your certificate, because you need that certificate of good conduct to unlock the next stage that you'll go to, so that within 2 to 3 weeks, we can be able to come to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport or Mombasa International Airport and bid you bye-bye as you go to get a new life where you'll be making money to help your family.
Addressing concerns amid rising tensions on the affordability of certain programs, Mutua assured that the government had arranged for measures on how those unable to pay for their facilitation fees would be assisted.
And these financial institutions will give credit to agencies, so the agent has some money, so that you only pay a little bit, 5, 10, 20,000, but the agency has money to process the 90, 100 to 120,000 that you cannot come up with, and then they'll be able to recover their money when they are paid the agency fee, if there's an agency fee in that case, or when you commit to give them part of the money when you go overseas. That is number one. Number two, also, the financial institutions can also give money to people who are traveling. You open up a bank account with them, you give a commitment, a guarantee that you'll be able to pay back the money. You get 25, 30,000, and then you're able to use that money to process your documents, to process your ticket, and then you're able to travel.
He, however, emphasized that there would be instances where one would be expected to cater for certain qualification provisions stipulated in the job contract, assuring Kenyans that the initiative is a job placement process upon qualification and not a job registration, as has been the case.
This is not a job registration process. This is an interview and offer process. You will come, the ones who will be interviewed, the ones who will qualify, you'll be given a temporary or an initial job offer that will now allow you to start processing your documents, waiting for your contract to come. Kwa hivyo watu watakuja na wataenda nyumbani wamepata kazi. Wanangojea processing to get the final offer. Kwa hivyo hii si registration tutafutiwa kazi siku moja, hapana. Unakuja, unapata kazi siku hiyo, unarudi na kazi.
The National Recruitment Drive underscores the government's commitment to addressing unemployment while leveraging global labor markets to provide opportunities for Kenyan citizens. County bosses have threatened to shut down operations if an impasse in the stalemate between the National Assembly and the Senate is not found in due time. According to the governors, the delayed disbursement of funds due to the standoff is hindering provision of services across counties. As K24 now files, Treasury and the Controller of Budget did not escape the wrath of the county chiefs over the release of funds to the devolved units with funds for the months of October and November, amounting to 63 billion shillings yet to be released.
With negotiations between the 18-member mediation committee hitting a dead end so far over a 20 billion shillings discrepancy in the equitable shareable revenue to county governments, Kenyans are at risk of bearing the brunt of the supremacy battles, with county chiefs now threatening to shut down operations if the standoff is not solved, citing lack of funds to run operations.
The Council takes great exception to the National Assembly's decision to reduce the county equitable share by Kenya shillings 20 billion. Any reduction to county equitable share will negatively affect service delivery. We demand that the National Treasury immediately releases funds owed to counties, failure to which the county governments will have no option but to shut down operations completely.
At the center of the controversy is the control of the 10.5 billion road maintenance levy fund, with members of the National Assembly in the mediation committee demanding the Council of Governors to withdraw a case filed in court over the road maintenance levy to unlock the deadlock over the funds. High Court Judge Lawrence Mugambi froze the 10.5 billion collected through the road maintenance levy, pending the determination of a case filed in court by the Council of Governors. Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga last week castigated MPs over their plot to control the road maintenance levy fund, arguing that the role of MPs is representation, legislation and oversight, and therefore the tussle to control the fund amounts to betrayal of the people.
The National Assembly is going all out to reduce revenue allocation to counties in complete disregard of the Constitution and the recommendations of the Senate. The members of the National Assembly are also scheming to dip their fingers into more executive projects like road maintenance levy fund.
Vowing to take action if the stalemate persists, the COG termed the Supplementary Appropriations Act of 2024 unconstitutional, as it is not based on the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill of 2024, and that the reduction of funds by the National Assembly is a plot to weaken devolution.
The Supplementary Appropriations Act 2024, based on the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, is unprocedural and unconstitutional. Parliament cannot pass an appropriation bill before finalization of the Division of Revenue Bill.
The Senate and the Council of Governors have further blamed the National Assembly over their decision to slash funds allocated to counties from 400 billion to 380 billion, with MPs citing fiscal deficit challenges following the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024. However, senators led by Migori's Eddie Okech argue that county governments cannot borrow for any deficits, unlike the national government. National Treasury and Economic Planning CS John Buddy and the Controller of Budget Margaret Nyakango did not escape the wrath of the county chiefs over current allocations, with the county bosses decrying failure by the Treasury to disburse at least 63 billion shillings for the months of October and November, faulting the COB over failure to approve funds to counties.
Counties are receiving 50% of the equitable share based on fiscal year 2023-24's allocation. By December 2024, the 50% will have been exhausted, which means county governments will not receive any disbursements from January 2025. The delays by the Controller of Budget to approve requisitions for the withdrawal of funds. We call upon the Controller of Budget to stop being a bottleneck to this process and ensure counties access their funds.
CS Mbadi on Thursday last week, while appearing before the National Assembly Committee on Finance, admitted to the funds yet to be disbursed, however, promising that they will be disbursed by the beginning of December. Ian Keitani, K24 TV, Nairobi.
The Finance Committee of the National Assembly has begun public hearings on the proposed tax laws seeking to raise 178 billion Kenyan shillings. The exercise kicking off today in Isiolo and Bungoma counties and is set to conduct the same in Mombasa and Siaya on Tuesday before the completion on Wednesday in Taita Taveta and Kericho counties. Kenyans have, on their part, called on the government to be accountable on the taxes already collected and specifically prioritize public interest projects. Joel Chacha has more.
Day one of the public hearing exercise on the 6 money bills seeking to help the government raise 178 billion Kenya shillings took place at the Bishop Menza Patrol Central Hall in Isiolo County, as well as the Kenya Red Cross Hall in Bungoma.
Tungetaka sana kulipa ushuru na tunapenda sana kulipa ushuru, lakini ni uchungu sana wakati nimelipa kodi lakini pale hospitali hakuna dawa. Ni uchungu sana wakati ninalipa kodi lakini ukiingia katika mtaa yenye nimetoka ya Blapesa Ward, barabara zote ni mbovu. Hauwezi tofautisha barabara na mtaro ya maji, yote inafanana.
Waajiri wenu, na kama trust itakosekana kwa bosi wako itakuwa ni hatari. Kwa hivyo ningeliomba ya kuwa serikali iwe wazi mpaka kwa mama mboga ule anachoma makara kule chini aweze kujua serikali yake inamfanyia nini.
We are always scared of you. Tumeona vitu hapa juu na hatujui kitu gani mko nayo chini ya meza. Equally, please update us on the KRA's daily, quarterly, monthly collections.
Kenyans express concerns of their views being disregarded, making their public participation appear a mockery and just a mere procedural exercise.
Mambo ambayo wananchi wanasema kabisa ni mazuri tuweze kuyapitisha, na yale ambao wanaona yatakuwa changamoto ama yatakuwa tatizo kwao tuweze kuwaondoa katika ripoti yetu na tuweze kuconvince bunge yote iweze kubaliana nasi ili tukue na mswada ambao kabisa Wakenya wengi watatosheka kuona ya kwamba huu mswada unaangazia masuala ya wananchi na uweze kuwa na acceptance zaidi ya wananchi.
The Finance National Planning Committee of the National Assembly, which split into two in a bid to collect the public views, has now promised to put into consideration the feedback from Kenyans.
Kutoka Bungoma wao wataelekea Kisumu, tukitoka hapa sisi tutaelekea kaunti ya Mombasa, tukitoka kaunti ya Mombasa tutaenda kaunti ya Taita Taveta, wao wenzetu kule wakitoka Kisumu wataenda Kericho. Kwa hivyo tutakuwa tumehandle those 6 counties kwa sisi kwa kwenda kule, lakini pia tunaendelea kupokea opinion kutoka kwa raia kupitia kwa mipango ya kawaida, especially kwa barua pepe. Tayari wananchi wengi wameweza kutuma barua pepe katika ile email ambayo imeweza kuwa provided.
The subcommittees will move to Mombasa and Siaya on Tuesday to collect Kenyans' views on 6 bills, namely Public Finance Amendment Bill 2024 number 3 and 4, Public Procurement and Disposal Act Amendment Bill 2024, Tax Procedural Amendment Bill 2024, and Tax Laws Amendment Bill 2024. The introduction of the money bills come on the backdrop of the withdrawn Finance Bill 2024 due to the public pressure, especially from the youthful population, popularly known as the Gen Zs. Joel Chacha, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Well, that report by Joel Chacha brings us to a fast break right in K24 Evening Edition. We'll be back with more in a short while.
Talents, lakini mkona vibe. It's time to discover East Africa's newest talent. Ni mda wa Kenya kuchachisha. Anguka nayo kati toka utuonyeshe hizi stunts zako. Africa's biggest talent show, Bongo Star Search, is coming to Kenya. Stand a chance to win amazing prizes and work with the biggest names in entertainment. Majudges wakiongozwa na Rita, Master J, Salama Jabi